am Marlene Motivates, and you're tuned in to the Motivated podcast. Hey everyone, thank you so much for being here for the Motivated podcast. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for your support. If it's your first time here for the Motivated podcast, subscribe to this channel, like, and share this video out with somebody that I know would really appreciate this conversation. So I decided to be on camera today. I usually am not, but I am today. So welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here for the Motivated podcast. Today I'm going to talk about, the victim to victory. I think that this is a very important conversation to actually have, because it's a lot of things that we do and we go through in this life. So we're going to be talking about the victim to victory, because it's something that we have a choice on what side of the spectrum that we're on. We can choose to be on the side of a victim, or we can be on the side of victory. It really is our choice. So really, first, let's start off by talking about being a victim. What is a victim? So a victim is a person harmed, injured, or unalived as a result of a crime, an accident, or other event or action. So something happened to you, something or someone hurt you, or someone did something to you to cause you to be a victim of something. So a victim of some sort of hurt, some sort of harm, some sort of difficulty. It left you some scars on you. Maybe some things that happened to us that we became a victim of caused us some traumas. And when traumas happen to us, it's very difficult to move on. It's not just like regular things, but things that are very traumatic. Maybe there was some loss, that someone became unalive, someone became incarcerated, someone got assaulted, some major difficulty or very stressful thing happened to you in your life, and it caused you to be shook to your core. We each become victims of something in our life. Some people admit it. Some people hide behind this facade or this wall or this bubble, or they take their problems, or they take their pain and then they hide it in a closet, and they never uncover it. Okay. And what I wanted to say with this conversation is, when we talk about the victim to victory, I wanted to say this. We have to stop calling ourselves victims. We have to stop saying we're victims. And yes, you may have had things happen to you. You may have had traumatic things. You may have been very stressed out. You may have been very hurt. But it's really important for us to stop calling ourselves a victim. And I will tell you why I say that. Because we are victims as long as we remain hurt and discouraged. So, as long as we say, I'm hurt, as long as we say I have pain, as long as we say I'm discouraged, as long as we keep talking about something in the past and not allow ourselves to get out of that sort of bondage, we're always going to stay and be in being a victim. And I'm here to tell you that there is so much freedom in releasing ourselves from the bonds of the victim mentality. And it really is. And over here, I always speak about mindset shifting. It's very important when we go through something very troublesome, something traumatic, something painful. Maybe somebody backstabbed you, somebody cheated on you, somebody did something very hurtful, brought so much pain, brought so much harm to you, did something that you never would have imagined. It's very easy for us to stay stuck into that victim mentality because it's easier to be the victim. It's easy to be the person in pain and to be sad. It's easy to ignore problems than to face it. It takes a lot of courage to say, I'm not going to hide behind the pain. I'm going to talk about what happened to me. Because when we do that, we're releasing ourselves from a prison, from a jail cell, from problems, and until we want to be released from it, we won't. See, we remain a victim as long as we choose to be, as long as we speak those words out of our mouth and we call ourselves a victim. You re victimize yourself over and over again, the more you let yourself stay in this mold, in this block. We back ourselves into corners, into walls. We put ourselves into prisons. We put chains on ourselves. We hold our own self down. We hold our own self back and tell ourselves certain things that we can't do, maybe because of what we've been through, maybe what has been told to us. But we allow ourselves to be victims because that's what we believe that we are. And until we get into the mindset to start thinking that I no longer am going to allow myself to be a victim, but I'm going to say that I've been through something. I've learned something. I have some life lessons. Okay. I have some scars. But it's really important to stop saying certain words out of our mouth because that evokes pain, hurt, harm, and difficulty. It's not going to stir within us the need to even feel like we should be courageous, because courage comes with us having the mentality to say, I'm going to be aware. I'm going to open the door finally to this pain. I'm going to take the bandage off of this wound. I'm going to allow myself to be better. I'm going to allow myself to do better, even if it hurts, even if I've been through some dark things, even if people don't support me, even if other people don't understand me, even if I did a lot of wrong things, even if a lot of wrong things were done to me, I am the one that has to make the choice to move on. See, and that's how we move and we shift, and we also elevate, not only in our mind but also in our what will come to us, because all of that is very magnetic energy. And when you are in that low and dark space, you stay in that low vibration space, you stay down, you stay broken, you stay trampled on, you stay in that hurt mentality as long as you allow yourself to be, because that's where you want to stay. And I'm only telling you based on what I know. I am the one that I wanted to be bitter. I wanted to be mad. I wanted to be angry. I wanted to be sad. I wanted to be disappointed. I wanted everybody to feel sorry for me because that's where I was, you know, seeking the attention because that's just the way I was allowing. That's where I was in my life. And at a certain period of time, to all you motivators, we have to say it's time to move past that. And not saying that it's going to be easy. I'm saying that it's going to be the hardest. I'm going to say it's going to be a struggle. I'm going to say you may shed some tears. You may get angry. You may scream. You may yell. But it's important for us to not stay in our pain, to not stay in our struggle, to not stay where maybe somebody put you. When people put you down, or when people say you're stupid, or when people tell you that you can't do it, when we allow ourselves to keep thinking that way and believing that, see, that's where we stay as a victim. When we believe that that's all we are, when we keep telling ourselves, I'm a victim, I'm a victim, and this person said this, and this person believes this, and this person doesn't. See, when we allow ourselves to believe that, we let ourselves stay in pain. And I want to bring some awareness to all of you. We cannot get free from our pain. We cannot heal from our pain. We cannot move past our hurt. We cannot let go of things. We cannot change. We cannot mature. We cannot even smile, feel good about ourselves, be a good friend, get love in our life, get the things that we actually want, until we allow ourselves to stop saying, I'm a victim. And I know that this message is for somebody, because we stay in that victim mentality for a long time until we allow ourselves to say, I'm going to be free from that. I'm going to release myself from this bondage of being a victim. So you can do it. We can do that. And we first have to put in some work. We first have to say, I'm going to allow myself to be free from this. And it may mean I got to work on me. And one of the first things that I have to say is, first, you may have to acknowledge what happened to you. And that's a hard thing when you go through something, to say, either I did something or somebody else did this to me. When something is painful, it's difficult, it's a struggle, it's something that is traumatic, we don't want to talk about it. We want to ignore it, right? But ignoring a problem is not the solution. The solution is finding out, like, what could have we have done, being accountable with ourselves, and then finding a solution how we can push past that pain, push past that hurt, push past the fear, push past the manipulation, push past our doubt, and then move into another phase in our life. And this is how we give ourselves the permission. We are the ones that have the say to when we are going to be free. You're the one that has to say it. I'm the one that has to say it. And I'm telling you that once you finally give yourself the permission, I'm going to work on this. I'm going to work on me. I'm going to do what I can do. See, that's something that we can do, motivators. It's a choice. We have to make a choice to let go. We have to make a choice to have certain conversations. We have to make a choice to say, I'm not going to allow what hurt me to harm me anymore. See, we're going to go in the other direction. We're going to say, I'm going to let what hurt me heal me. Now, how do we do that? We do that by first acknowledging it, and second, by getting some help, having conversations, maybe with a therapist, a counselor, maybe some spiritual support, whatever it will mean for you, whatever it will take for you, because every single person is different, and different things work for different people. So it means allowing ourselves to say, I'm going to do something with this pain. I'm not going to hide it. I'm not going to push it aside. I'm not going to ignore it. I'm Because that's how we give that pain, that hurt, power, whether we know it or not. When we ignore something painful, we give it power. And when we finally bring it to the surface and say, I'm going to unearth everything, I'm going to take that bandage off that wound, I'm going to expose everything, I'm going to talk about it until I can talk about it without crying, before I can talk about it without hurting. I can talk about it without feeling embarrassed. See, don't be embarrassed for your story. Don't be embarrassed for your struggle. See, there is empowerment. There is empowerment in speaking up, in talking about what you've been through. There's so much power in that. And we're the ones that have to say, there is power. There is power within me. Happy Tuesday to you, Sirius. How are you doing? Welcome. I really appreciate you being here. Happy Tuesday to you. Happy Tuesday to everybody in the chat. Hey, James Money, how are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you guys being here. If you could hit the like, I really appreciate it. That I feel like that is something so important that I give you guys that permission. See, sometimes you got to have somebody to hold your hand through the pain, right? Hold your hand through the pain and say, it's going to be okay. Sometimes we are that weak, right? Be careful, Sirius. We have to have somebody that is going to hold our hand through the pain and to say, you're not alone. See, sometimes when we are victims of our circumstance, we're victims of problems or whatever, difficulties, trials, somebody did something to us. When things have happened to us in our life, we may not be strong enough to go through it alone. You may need somebody as a support person just to be there to help you to get through those moments, just to be strong enough to walk through that door. Maybe it could be getting some help with, going to some support groups like AA, or, or finally acknowledging being a victim of a SA, or whatever it is that happened to you, losing a child, losing someone that you love in death, whatever it is, the pain that has happened to you, something that has victimized you and caused you to be stuck in that pain for a long time, to where you feel you can't move past it. Like if it's all you talk about, that's when we know sometimes that we have an issue. When you can't move past it, when it's all you think about, when it's all you talk about. Okay, so we don't want to be victims, because a victim is a person who is hurt, in pain, discouraged, sad. I want you all to be free. And I want you all to know that there is freedom in releasing yourself from the bonds of the victim mentality. And it is a mentality. See, what we choose to think about, we know that what we think about is what we become. You are what you think about. So if you stay in those thoughts of negativity, and this happened to me, and sadness and hurt, that's all you're going to be. And you won't be able to do greater and better things because you have not released those things. So let's talk about why it's important to start speaking this word. And I want for us to stop saying that we are victims and start speaking victory over our life. See, victory is an act of defeating an enemy or an opponent in a battle, a game, or other competition. So we are the ones, we each are battling for our lives. We are each are battling for the hope for whatever that is ahead of us, whatever is inside of us, whatever we're supposed to be doing with our life. I believe 100% that every single person has a purpose. Every single person has meaning, but we are the ones that have to speak victory over our life. We have to defeat those negative thoughts. We have to defeat the people who try to come and break us down. We have to have victory over that. We have to win the battle every single time when negativity comes to our thoughts or negative people come around us. We have to say, no, that's not what I'm about. That's not what I do. See, speak victory over yourself and your life, okay? And I'll tell you the reason why it's so important, because it's essential on what we say we are. It is essential on what we say we are, victim or victorious. It's essential. See, and if you are not choosing to say, I'm victorious, then you're choosing to be a victim. We really don't realize it sometimes how negative we can be because of life, because of circumstances that can cause us to feel distraught, stressed out, and to stay in that negative space for longer than we want to be in. I don't think there's anybody who wants to feel sad. There's not anybody who wants to feel discouraged. The majority of people want to feel good and happy, but it's also, we have to take the bull, the bull by the horns, and we have to say, this is my life. I'm the one that has to choose. And that means that we have to make choices on what we say out of our mouth. So I want for every single one of you motivators to say out of your mouth, I am victorious. I want you to say that. I want you to speak it. Every time when you're feeling discouraged, anytime when you are doubting yourself, when you doubt your abilities, when you're not where you want to be, when someone says something negative to you, rebuke them and say to yourself, no, no, I am victorious. It's so vital that we are the ones that make that choice. See, a lot of times, maybe before we didn't realize how much power we have. And we do. We have the power to say, I'm going to get up. We have the power to say, I'm going to keep trying. And we also have the power to forgive. Now, I know that forgiveness is a big deal for everybody. It's something that most of us don't want to do. We don't like to talk about forgiveness because some people, we think the things that they do to us is just so hurtful, right? Hey, Tamika, how are you doing? Welcome. Happy Tuesday to you. Thank you so much for being here. We think that, when we talk about forgiveness, it's a choice. We have to choose to forgive. We have to choose to forgive others, and we have to choose to forgive ourselves. And I know there's some people, I'm the same way too. People get on my nerves, people make me upset, people make me angry, and I don't want to forgive them. That you do have to take the time to process the things that people do to you. You do have to take the time to process, why did you allow certain things? But also, it's very important that at the same time you remember to choose to forgive yourself. Forgiving yourself for the past, forgiving yourself for when you didn't allow yourself to release and let that go, allows you to stay in the victim mentality. It allows you to be hurt, to be sad, to be angry, to be mad. And you can choose that. You can choose that if you want to. But I know that you want to move past that. I know you do. But you're the one that first has to say, I'm going to choose to forgive people, even when it's hard, even when I don't like to, because I love myself, because I know that I deserve better. And you do. But it's definitely making that choice to forgive. And, we must let go. Not that letting go is going to be any easier or anything. And I will say that you can forgive people, but you'll never forget. You'll never forget what people do. But you got to forgive them in that you're not holding it in. And then it's only thing that's on your mind. They did this to me. They did this to me. How could they do this to me? We have to let that go and stay where we are. We have to remember that everybody hurts others, including ourselves. We hurt other people too. And just like we want to receive forgiveness, we have to let go. We have to let go. It's a two-sided, a double-edged sword, that we want to forgive, but we also need to be forgiven. So we gotta let go, and when we let go, we are allowing ourselves permission to succeed, permission to thrive, where you may begin to start smiling again. Because when you hold on to that pain, when you're angry with somebody, it's like you can't sleep, you can't do anything right, you can't get into any goals, you can't accomplish nothing. When you stay in that victim mentality, when you stay in that hurt mentality, when you stay sad, you stay stuck. And we don't want to stay stuck. We want to get away from being a victim. We want to go to the side of victory, because over in victory, there is freedom, there is joy, there is peace. Yeah, there's success. And to do that, we're going to have to let go. So I'm here on the last point, in talking about, victim to victory and how we get victory. See, this is how we get victory. This is how we win. We allow ourselves permission to move on. Okay? You allow yourself the permission to move on, either from certain people, you allow yourself to move on from the pain, and you allow yourself to move on from the trial. So you have to say things to yourself. I say things like this: Marlene, it's time for you to let go of this person. Marlene, it's time for you to move on from this person. Marlene, it's time for you to move on from this, whatever it is. Because we are the ones that say, you are the one that says it's over. You're the one that has to say it's time to stop. It's time to, end this anger. It's time to end this resentment. It's time for me to take my power back. And we can't get our power back in being a victim. We can't get our power back in allowing ourselves to be angry and bitter and sad all the time. That we're going to only be hurting ourselves. But remember, you're the one that has to say, up here in your mind, you have to say, it's time to move on. And only you can make that decision. I can just come up with these topics. I can just share from my personal experience. But I know for myself, it wasn't until I wanted to let go. It's not until I wanted to heal. It's not until I wanted to forgive somebody. That's the only time it was over. And it's not going to be an easy road to give people. You got to allow yourself to be upset for a while. You have to acknowledge the pain. You have to say it out loud. This person hurt me. It's very important to do those things, but also you have to say, now it's time to move on with my life. Now it's time to move on past that person, because when we hold on to certain people, we don't allow ourselves the freedom to spread our wings and to fly. See, you don't want to stay in a low space. You want to elevate. You want to elevate in your life. You want to have high energy. You want to have peace of mind. And we're the ones that have to say when it's time. We have to make the choice. I'm not going to punish myself anymore. I no longer want to be sad. I no longer want to stay in the misery. I have to stop punishing myself. I have to stop punishing this other person. Not because maybe sometimes they do deserve to be punished for a long period of time, but when we are holding on to the anger, that resentment, all of that, then we don't allow ourselves the freedom, the peace, and to fly and to get into what we need to get into. Because when we keep our eyes, our focus on this negativity, for this hurt, this anger, we can't look what is behind that pain, the blessing that is to come, the joy that you can have, the peace of mind that you can receive, whatever is the next step, whatever is the next level that is meant to be for you. And the only way that we can get from being that victim to that victory is we have to stop calling ourselves a victim. We have to forgive people. We have to let go. We really do. And we have to just not allow ourselves to stay in that space. It's so important that we say, I'm not going to stay in the victim mentality. I'm going to allow myself to be victorious. Hey, Shay Love, how are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. We have to stop calling ourselves a victim. We really do. You got to stop putting that out in the atmosphere, because we get out what we put in. We get out what we believe. We get out the energy and the power that we put into things. So if you're only seeking and looking at the negative in your life, the darkness, if you only see the dark, that's all you're going to get. You got to believe that the light and the darkness exist. And yes, the darkness exists, but I'm going to allow myself to turn up my own light. I'm going to allow myself to see the light that is in within me, what I deserve, what is supposed to be coming for me. See, that's such a strong and powerful thing. We are holding on to so many things sometimes that we don't just open up our hand, relax, allow things to go, allow people to go, remove them. You can go. Give people permission to leave your life. And if they don't move it from your life in time, you're going to have to remove yourself. And why I say you may have to remove yourself from people sometimes, because people get so comfortable in holding on to us. And you don't need to hold on to them. Some people, you got to let them go so that you get your own peace, so you get what's next in your life, so that you can improve, so that you can become better. But you can't become better in the negative. You can't get better in the dark space. You can't get better in the the nasty back and forth. No, you deserve better. You know better. See, and when you know better, you do better. You know you deserve better. You know that the light is within you. So shine it. Don't let other people dim your light. Don't let other people take you down to their low levels. Don't let other people make you think less about yourself. Know your worth. Know you are worthy and capable of having great things. But you got to prove that by your actions. Prove it. Prove it not to them. Prove it to yourself. That's something that I had to learn for myself. I had to learn to prove to myself that I was worth a change. I was worth the enlightenment. I was worth those tears that I had to cry. I was worth every time when I got up, every single time that I fell. And I said, because I knew that there was something ahead for me. I knew that there was hope. See, before, when I was a victim to the pain, to the discouragement, to the doubt, to everything, to every person that had stepped on me, every person that had put me down, every single person that said that I was nobody when I knew that I was somebody, all of that brings us down sometimes, and we don't know how to get up. But I'm here to tell you that hope exists. Hope exists for each and every one of you, brothers and sisters. Every single one of us, there is hope out there for us. There is. There's hope that exists, but we're the ones that have to believe it. We're the ones that have to want it. We're the ones that have to show it by our actions. What are you doing to have better? Who are you around? Who do you associate with? Who do you talk to? What are you putting in the work to have? See, hope exists. There are things out there that is meant to be for us. There's blessings that's out there for each and every one of us. But what are you doing in order to have more and more of those things? You know, how do you treat yourself? How do you talk to yourself? How do you respect yourself? How do you friend yourself? How do you take time for you? See, this is the difference between a person who's a victim and the person who speaks victory over their life. See, hope exists for each and every one of us, but a lot of times we forget that there is a hope. We forget that there's encouragement. We forget that there is light even in the dark times. But you're the one that has to remember. You got to remind your own self. You got to encourage your own self. You got to be your own cheerleader, your own support system. And you got to have the right people in your life that will encourage you during those dark times. See, when you get out of that victim mentality, being a victim, and you start getting into victory and freedom and peace and hope and light and joy, guess what? You're going to start drawing people to you like that magnet. See, people are naturally going to be inclined to come to you when you're a positive person, when you're seeking light, when you believe in yourself, when you're trying, when you're focused, when you smile. See, you're the one that has to do that for yourself. You're the one that has to want to be happy. You're the one that has to make better choices. You're the one that has to forgive. And you're the one that has to say to yourself, I speak victory over my life. I am victorious. I can conquer anything. And I'll tell you why. Because you have hope. See, hope exists. Hope exists. Even if we don't always see it, even if we don't always feel it, it's always there. It's always there. It's always there. It's always there. But we're the ones that have to believe that it exists. Okay? Let's see. Hi, Only Zone Alarm. How are you doing? Welcome. Oh, I see. Shay is a new member. Welcome to membership, Shay. I really do appreciate you joining membership. Thank you so much. Let me remove this banner and play that song for you. Welcome to membership, Shay Love. Thank you so much for your support. Oh, man. Oh, I can't ever find this song when I want it. It's here, somebody. It's here. It's here. It's coming. Here it is. Thank you so much, Shay. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much. It's all good. It's all good, Shay. That's right, Shay. Hey, James, how are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Happy Tuesday to you. Yes, I know. Same thing with me, Shay. Same with me. Really appreciate you guys. Yep. You want your panda? You get panda. If you want panda, you get panda. There you go. There you go. There's your panda. So, yeah, it's so important for us to, cover these conversations, cover these topics, and to remind ourselves that, we are victims as long as we say that, as long as we speak that out of our mouth. We are victims as long as we believe we're victims, but we're the ones that have to choose to say, I'm not a victim anymore. I'm strong. I'm courageous. I've learned, and all of those things, and then start putting in the work to show and prove that you're no longer a victim. You got to put in the work. You got to put in the work. There's nobody that will put in the work but you. See, one thing about life is that people don't understand your journey. Nobody understands the journey of another person. When you look at another person, you never know what that person has gone through. You don't know what that person has dealt with. You don't know what that person is currently going through. You really don't. You don't know what anybody is going through. We don't. We don't know what another person is going through. You look at a person, you think that person is okay, but are they really? People put on a facade. People don't want other people to know their personal business. I'm doing awesome, James. Thanks so much for asking, and happy Tuesday to you. If you guys have not hit the like already, please hit the like. Hi, Paul Luna. How are you doing? Welcome. Okay. Hey, Jessica. How are you doing? Yes. Thank God for growth. Yes. Thank God for growth. Whew. Boy, I'm telling you, when you're in those stages of your life when you're very immature, mhm, I'll just say we have those times in our life where we're very immature. We don't want to listen to anybody. We have a big head. We have lots of pride. It's nothing wrong with being confident. The issue is when that confidence causes us to do manipulative things, you know, when people cause us to feel bad about ourselves, when other people and their doubts and their fears and their accusations cause us to feel some type of way about ourselves. We are the ones that have to make a choice. We are the ones. There's nobody that can live your life for you but you. You're the one that has to say, I'm going to get up. You're the one that has to say, I'm not going to be angry anymore. You're the one that has to say, I have hope. You're the one that has to say, I have gifts. You're the one that has to say, I have talents. You're the one that has to say, I can make great changes. Mhm. You're the one that has to make that choice. And I had to say that for myself. And once I did that for me, when I said to myself, I can do some great things, I can do something amazing. And that meant to do something amazing, it means I was going to have to get up. It means I was going to have to stop being lazy. It meant I couldn't blame anybody anymore. It meant that I was going to have to be responsible. It meant that I was going to have to be consistent. It meant that I was going to have to believe in myself enough to get up even when it was hard. And that's during the most difficult times. People don't understand that when probably you're on your last tank of gas, maybe when you have to make a choice between paying your light bill and getting food, or whatever the struggle is, or maybe those of you who have health problems, you don't feel the best, so you just don't feel like doing anything with your life. So it's this life is hard. This life is very hard. This life is very difficult. And the thing about it is that when you have people in your life that make it harder, is people who are just so angry. They're so accusatory. They're so judgmental. They feel so much that they know us and they don't know you. They don't know. They don't know you. Okay, you took a YouTube break. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, James. Yeah, it's something that I was thinking about, that is so important for us to we are the ones that have to make that choice. You're the one that has to have that focus. You're the one that has to have that mindset. You're the one that has to want changes. You're the one that has to get up and do something. You're the one that has to have the drive. You're the one that has to say, I can do better. I can be better. I'm not going to be angry or sad anymore. Yeah. Choices. We are the one that have to make those choices. And that's why I said you can go from victim to victory by taking the steps, by putting in the work. And also, I have to say, and also the people who you choose to associate with. Who do you choose to be your friends? Because if you have the right crowd of people, you're going to always feel like you're more on that side of victory. If you have the wrong set of friends, you're going to know it, because all you're ever going to hear is complaining, gossip, anger. There's never going to be any encouragement. There's always going to be laughing at other people, clowning other people. Never people who are accountable for when they do wrong things. It's always name, game, blaming, all of that. And we don't want those type of people to be around us. Hi, Miss Rachel. How are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. It's so important for us to talk about this, and for us to not allow ourselves to stay in that victim mentality, because I know for a long time I definitely stayed in that victim mentality, because it's easy. It's easy to be a victim. It's easy to point fingers at everybody. And even if it's true, even if those people have done wrong, even if those people have hurt you, you are the one that has to say, I don't like my life as it is. I don't feel good about myself, or I don't feel good, or I want to do certain things. So, what's stopping you from getting up and doing it? You're the one that has to make a choice. You're the one that has to make a change. You're the one that has to make a decision to love yourself. It's about the actions that you put out there, and it's also the energy that you show up in this world. And until you let go of certain things and certain people, I found it was so, like, life altering for me, when I realized that holding on to certain people were the reason why I had no energy, because they sucked all the life out of me. They sucked all the power out of me. All the time my head hurt all the time, because there's such stressful, dramatic people, and they bring drama into your life, and they bring negativity and complaining and laziness, and uh no. So once I removed myself from people who are like that, the people who are never accountable for the things that they had done or continue to do, then I could start being accountable to myself. I I'm accountable for me. You're accountable for you. If you don't want something, if you don't like something, you got to have enough courage to say, I don't like this. I don't want these people in my life. I don't like certain things. I don't like my job. I don't like my life. I don't like who I'm in a relationship with. And then you got to have enough courage to say, I got to walk away from them. I got to walk away from them so that I can feel good about me, because we don't respect ourselves. We could say all day long, I respect myself. But if you're lowering your standards, if you're allowing people to stay in your life that use you, that take advantage of you, that disrespect you, no, it shows that you don't love yourself enough to say, I have the courage, even though it's hard. It could be a relative, it could be boyfriend, girlfriend, it could be a spouse, it could be a friend, it could be anybody in your life. Nobody has the right to treat you with disrespect. Nobody has the right. But you're the one that has to give yourself that power. You got to give yourself that courage to say, I deserve better. I don't have to lower my standards. I don't need them in my life, because I'll tell you something, when you release negative people out your life, I'm telling you, it's like you get a burst of energy. Then you start getting like ideas. You feel good about yourself. Even sometimes you'll lose weight. You sleep better. Like, your life improves when you let go of people in your life that are dead weight. They're holding you down. They're keeping you in the space to be a victim. And until you let them go and let go of them and their negative thoughts, you can't even realize sometimes I'm toxic. I'm toxic. I'm acting crazy because of what they have done. or how they act. Hey, Eastside, how are you doing? Welcome. Happy Tuesday. Appreciate you being here. It's so important for us to learn to let go of people who don't deserve us. And it's not showing off. It's not like, oh, I think I'm all that. No, every single person has gone through something. Every single person has been through something, right? And you know what you've been through. You know what your story is. You know what your life is. You know what challenges. You know the things that are hard and difficult for you. We all know them, right? We all have been through something, right? So don't let other people take you backwards. If people don't help you to put your foot on the gas and move forward, if people are holding you back or holding you down or making you feel bad about yourself or causing you to be stuck and you're never moving forward and you're not growing and you're not learning and you're not happy, look at yourself. Look at yourself. Look inside. Why do I allow them to stay around? Why am I listening to these people who have nothing, who are doing nothing, who don't deserve me? No, we're not doing that. We have to let go of the people who don't deserve us, even if it's hard. Even no matter how much we care about them, no matter how much we love them, got to think, but I love them, but they don't love me back. See, that's moving from being a victim to victory, because somebody who appreciates you, cares for you, will support you, listen to you, feed positivity, motivation, and they're going to be active in their own life, making things happen for themselves. Those are the people you need in your life. People who are progressing, people who are making changes, people who are accountable, people who know how to respect you. Remember that respect starts with you. Never let somebody start disrespecting you. Don't let nobody disrespect you. Don't allow it. So let's move from being a victim to victory. Know that you deserve it. You deserve to have victory. You deserve to have change. You deserve to have peace of mind. You deserve to let go and forgive. You deserve all of that. So, to move from victim to victory, I know it's hard. I know it's going to be a challenge, but you can. You can and you will. But it starts here, and making a mindset shift and telling yourself, I deserve to make change. I believe in me. I am somebody. I am deserving. What is Marlene saying all the time? I am a bright beam of light. Remember and know it. Know it. And like, you know what I say over here all the time on Marlene Motivates, just know it, just breathe it and be it. You're the one that has to believe in you. You're the one that has to believe in your own thoughts, your own blessings, your own gifts, your own talents. You got to speak victory over your life before you're going to receive it. So, thank you guys so much for tuning into the Motivated Podcast for today. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Go after your dreams and let go of being a victim and speak over your life. I am victorious. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if it's your first time here, subscribe to this channel, hit the like, share this out on your social media sites with somebody that you know. I'd really appreciate it. And I will see you guys back tomorrow for the dose of positivity. And in a few minutes, I will see my members for a members only live stream. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. Keep on going and do your best. Remember that your best is always good enough. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I'll see the members in a few minutes. Bye, guys.
Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Forgive me, I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you? I forgive me, I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you? Ooh, oh.